Welcome to today's Ignite Your Influence on Social marketing session. And I'm going to share with you some literally like ninja secret strategies to repurposing content that agencies like our agency use, as well as experts. And some of these things you may already know, some of these things you might be like, whoa. So, what is the purpose of repurposing content? The purpose of repurposing content is number one, to keep your message cohesive. That's a huge one. Number two, to save you time, because there is nothing more frustrating than spending a wasted amount of time creating new content over and over again and feeling like you're in this constant content creation mode. So if you and your team, or maybe you don't have a team yet, maybe it's just yourself, are constantly in this mode of creating new content over and over again, I hope that stops today. Okay. So if you're brand new to my world, to whether over on FB or LinkedIn, wherever you are watching this from, let me know. Let me know that you're new. I'd love to know what it is that you do. And even feel free to drop a link to your business. That's totally cool with me. Why not? If you're watching this on the replay, please come back and drop any questions. I'm happy to answer them, and make sure to stay till the end, because I'm going to share a little something that's going to be happening next week for you that I think will absolutely benefit you. And if we haven't officially met, my name is Gina Tassinelli. I'm the owner and CEO of Hype Media, a boutique social media marketing agency, as well as Stylishly Branded. And we work with established experts, consultants, coaches, small business owners, e-commerce stores to help you ignite your influence on social media so that you can connect with your ideal clients, make a bigger impact, and make more money. Bottom line. That's what we do, and that's what we help our clients with. So you're in the right place if you feel like you're constantly in this hamster wheel of creating content. So I'd love to know, just let me know, are you in this constant grind of creating content all of the time? And on a scale from 1 to 10, how frustrating is that for you? Okay, let me know below. All right, so repurposing content it's not really a new strategy. It's been around for quite some time, but when you do this with purpose, with intent, and with strategy and a plan to actually support that, I'm telling you, you're going to save yourself hours per week. And you're also going to find that your content actually starts to work for you. And what I mean by working for you is it starts to highlight people that are raising their hand. They're like virtual leads for you. And it's going to start creating new conversations and build relationships, because that is the point of content. Okay. Content is not meant to sell people. It's meant to get people to know, like, and trust you. And the more they trust you, the more they will be more likely to say yes to your offers, products, and services. Okay. So let's talk about some in and outs about content repurposing. It's a time saver. Like I said, it keeps your message cohesive, and it gives your content a second chance to really become something new and magnificent. Okay. Because what you're going to do is you're going to use your original content and repurpose it in various different ways. So you're able to give your old content a new flair to existing images, a new flair to text that you use. And it's a lot easier than you think. So I'm going to share with you 12 different ways. Okay. Now, if you want today's notes, just say the word notes down below and I'll make sure to get them to you. That way you don't have to worry about writing all this out, but maybe that's better for you. It's up to you. Okay. Number 1, grab your old images and use them for backgrounds for quotes. So you can use images that you've already posted in the past. I promise you, nobody is going to remember that you posted a picture, of you on the beach, or you putting makeup on, or a picture of your product 3 months from now. They're not, because on a daily basis, we are consumed with hundreds of thousands of messages and images every single day. Okay. I can't even remember what I wore yesterday. I know that's pretty bad, but I call it young timers is what I have. But seriously, so go through old images. And use images that, if you're doing this from like your social media posts, for example, find images that had lots of engagement on them. So you want to reuse them and put a new quote on top of them. You can drag that into Canva. Canva is one of my favorite tools because I am not a graphic designer. We have amazing graphic designers on our team, but that's not me. So if it's something that I need to do, I'm going to pull an image into Canva and then I'm going to put a quote on top of it. Okay. So that's one way. Number two is you want to be able to create, or you want to remember to create, evergreen content. And what does evergreen mean? It means that it's content that is going to be relative for years to come. Okay. So if it's a promotion, that's not evergreen because a promotion is very time sensitive, right? So it's got to be a topic of your choice that's going to be relative for years to come. So, for example, if you represent a makeup line, right? It could be, 5 ways to have healthier skin. Healthier skin is going to be relative for years to come, right? Well, if you sell homes, right? If you help people sell their home and list their home and buy a home, right? You could talk about 5 ways to stage your home. That's really not going to go out of style. It's not going to go out of trend. That's something that's going to be relative for quite some time. So creating evergreen content is going to allow you to post that content again a few months from now. And I promise, nobody's going to remember that you already posted that. Okay. Another tip. So, number 3 is if you have, for example, if you've covered topics from like little tiny details, you can take several topics and put them together if they make sense for one big topic. Okay. And so what I mean by this, it could be like maybe you have created a series of social media posts that are all talking about the same topic. Put those together to create one longer post. And nobody's going to remember that a week ago you posted those 5 tips all separately. Now put them together into one long post. Okay, so that's one way. Another thing that you could do is take a long form piece of content, so like a presentation, and transcribe that or take pieces of your presentation. So if you're somebody that does webinars, masterclasses, things like that, maybe take a few pieces of content from 3 different slides and put that together to create a social media post and or to create an email blast and or to create a blog post. Okay. Number 4, if you have quizzes and surveys that you use that you put out there maybe as lead magnets, which people love to take surveys, right? So it's going to ask them some questions and then spit out like a result, right? That they can relate to. So you can take their answers and use those to make visuals or infographics. Okay. So if I put a quiz out there that is asking, how to know what your brand style is or how to know what your marketing personality is. Well, I could take those same answers and I could create some fun visuals out of it and use that for social media posts. So use data that you have already to create infographics. The same thing if you do a lot of sales calls and you ask a lot of questions, right? During sales calls, we want to make those very conversational. Well, the answers that people provide to you on those sales calls can also be used for content. And what I love about that is that you're actually using the language and answers that people, your ideal clients, are giving you. So when you put that out to the world, it's going to be more relevant and it's going to resonate more with your ideal clients. Okay, next one, number 5 is to use content that you've already created, and you can create a small ebook that people can download. And now that can actually become a lead magnet for you. If you've shared a series of tips, for example, over the last week or over the last month or something like that, put all those tips together in a really small ebook that's really easy to consume. It's not going to be, 100 pages, and you can make it a downloadable ebook, a digital version of, 5 steps to blank, right? So that's a great one to use as a lead magnet. Okay, number 6 is throwback posts. So remember TBT, Throwback Thursday, like hashtag TBT? You can still do this. And you don't necessarily need to use the hashtag Throwback Thursday or hashtag TBT, but just know that you can go to your old posts and repurpose those again, republish those again. If you want, go back to those and even just change the wording. We do this for our clients too. Like if we don't get, for example, some of our clients provide us their content, right? Some of our agency clients, because of the work that they do, it needs to actually come from them. It's not something that we can create for them. So if we don't get the content in time when we need it, we will go back to their old posts from like a year ago, 2 years ago, and we will reshare those. But before we reshare them, we'll just change the wording a bit. So it's not the same exact wording. Okay. So you can go back and reshare a post that way, or just literally reshare it the way it is and do throwback content. Okay, number 7, this is one of my favorite ones. I actually should have put this at the top of the list, is turn a blog post into, ready? A podcast, a live video or a recorded video, an email blast, and vice versa. Turn a live video or a recorded video or a podcast into a blog post or an email campaign. So, little hack here. Actually, this is a huge hack. This video right now that you're listening to, this is going to be transcribed and this is going to turn into a blog post. Okay. And what I mean by transcribed is what we do is we will download this video, we will upload it into a transcription service. We use otter.ai, which I love, and it's really inexpensive. And then we take the text, the words in that transcription, we edit it so that it's readable, right? Because the way that we speak is going to sound different on paper. So we edit that so it's formatted like a blog post with a header 1, header 2, header 3. We have subtopics, we add a few images, and voila, we have a blog post. Now, we can also take this video and take pieces of the transcription to use for social media posts, which we will do in the future. We can also take pieces of the transcription and send out an email blast with it, right? All of this is very relevant to my audience and it keeps my message cohesive. So you can do the same exact thing and it doesn't take a lot of time and it's not very techy. I promise. It's very, very simple. If you know how to download a video, upload a video into a program, it just asks you to upload it and then type, you got this. Okay. It's very simple. Number 8 is use images from social media and then especially from your blog posts if you blog, and you can make Pinterest boards out of those and share it. If you use something like Tailwind, by the way, which I highly recommend if you are using Pinterest for your business, if you use Tailwind, you can actually connect your Tailwind account to your social media profiles like Instagram and Facebook, and you can schedule it so it actually schedules your social posts over to Pinterest. The other thing that you can do is you can just use the same images that you're using for social media, but resize them so that they make nice, rich pins. And if you're not familiar with Pinterest, that's okay. Don't worry about it. But if you are, this is for you. Reformat it so it's the right size for Pinterest and then repost it over there on Pinterest. So that's another way. And that allows you to give yourself this omnipresence to be in other places, but in a real strategic way. So you're not starting things from scratch all the time. Number 9 is you can take quotes from your blog posts or from your videos, right? When you're transcribing it, take quotes that you say, those golden nuggets, and put those on an image post. We do that all of the time, not just for my own businesses, but also for our clients. There's no sense in recreating the wheel. In fact, when you do this, you can actually come up with months worth of content. Okay, so I know that I feel like we overcomplicate creating content and we really don't need to if you follow these tips. And you don't have to use all of these because I know I'm sharing a lot and we're up to number 9 and I have 3 more, but you can literally like create 3 months worth, 6 months worth of content just from what I'm sharing. In fact, from one video, you can create like an entire month's worth of content. Okay. And that's why video is so important. Okay. Number 10 is turn an infographic. Okay. So what I mean by that is like a diagram or something visual that you've created, turn that into a presentation for LinkedIn. If you want to get more strategic over there on LinkedIn, you can also do it. The presentation can also be on Facebook, or it can be on a webinar or Zoom, whatever it is. So it's not just LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is a really great place to be, especially for us that are service providers. And by the way, even if you sell product, the people that are on LinkedIn, they're still human beings that are purchasing products. So you can absolutely have a great strategy over there. But you can turn an infographic and create an entire presentation out of it. Okay. And that can really show you off, increase your credibility and how you're showing up on LinkedIn. Number 11 is use articles or blog posts to create a YouTube video. So this is actually very similar to I think it was number 9 that I mentioned, where, use a blog post for a podcast, the same thing. Use a blog post to create a YouTube video. So if you want to get over there on YouTube, that's one way of doing it. You don't have to start from scratch. You can use content that you already have, whether it's a blog post or maybe it's a video that you've already uploaded or you've gone live on Facebook with. You can use that video over on YouTube as well. Okay. And then the last one is use your content to post relevant information on forums. Forums are a great way to get new eyeballs to your business and your brand outside of these social platforms. So one forum that I can highlight is like Quora, right? Quora, Reddit, those are some really great ones. Now, there are some, sometimes the people on there can be a little shady. So you want to be careful, like what actual forums you're a part of on those platforms. But it's a really great way to not only promote your brand, but also to lead people to your website and to get new readers and new traffic over to your website. So what did you guys think? Was that helpful? And you're probably like, Gina, how do I get started with this? So here's what I want you to know. You don't have to do all these things. Okay. I just gave you a whole bunch of different ideas. You take pieces of what you know you can do and you go from there. And as you get better with this, you add more to it. Okay. Because there are a plethora amount of ways to create content, to show up on social media, to do all of these things. My favorite way is to get on video. You truly want to use social media as a tool to help you expand your reach, to help you get seen by your ideal clients, to increase your credibility, to allow you to get seen as an expert. Video is a must. So I suggest going live once a week. Just once a week. That's it. I only go live on Thursdays, right? And then using that video to create different forms of content. So I'll see you guys next week inside the masterclass. Until then, remember to stay social. Bye, guys.